This is exactly what the Most High is going to do with his elect, with the nation of Israel in general. Because the nation of Israel will be a nation of superhumans on the planet Earth. And this is what's coming.
The Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of God. And if children, then heirs of God, and joint heirs with God. If so be that we suffer with him, that we may be also glorified together. For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us. For the earnest expectation of the creature waiteth for the manifestation of the sons of God. For the creature was made subject to vanity, not willingly, but by reason of him who hath subjected the same, in hope, because the creature itself also shall be delivered from the bondage of corruption into the glorious liberty of the children of God. For we know that the whole creation groaneth and travaileth in pain together until now. And not only they, but ourselves also, which have the first fruits of the Spirit, even we ourselves groan within ourselves, waiting for the adoption, to wit, the redemption of our body.
The same way we were subjected to vanity, we're subjected to hope now. And this is why Yahushua came on the scene. To redeem us back to the Father, to give us back that hope, to give us back that glory. To be glorified in the image of his son Yahushua, the same way he got glorified after he went through what he had to go through.
All right, Shalom. Give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Double honors to the elders of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings to you brothers that's doing this work. The sincere sisters are listening and learning. All right, so this is Samak coming to you with another lesson through the Spirit, man. So yeah, I played this video by Aminatazak Minyamyan. Premiered it a couple months ago, or about a month ago. But you know, I just thought it was a beautiful video, and you know, I wanted to, you know, share some scriptures and talk about the new bodies and spiritual bodies that we're gonna get, man. But I wanted y'all to have something where y'all can kind of put, you know, a visualization, man, to the scriptures, man. So it's beautiful, man. As you can see, you know, we're gonna be gods, man. We're gonna be powers and kings, you know, ruling the earth, man. Kings and princesses ruling the earth, man. You know, beautiful beings, and we're going to have celestial bodies, man. Our bodies are not going to be made of fleshly things and terrestrial elements. It's going to be made out of spiritual and heavenly and celestial elements, man. Our bodies are literally going to be formed in the heavens, man, by Yahushua, man, ultimately. So let's go. This is 1 Corinthians 15, and I'll start at 38. It says, but God giveth it a body as it has pleased him, and to every seed to his own body. Right. And then when you read up a little bit, just go to like talking about the seeds, but look, it's going to go into more. It says 39, it says, all flesh is not the same flesh, but there is one kind of flesh of men, another of flesh of beasts, another of fishes, and another of birds. So all flesh are different. Not all flesh are the same. You know, you have, or not all bodies are the same, if you will. You have the man's body, you know, of mankind. You have the body of the dog, the body of the beast. You have the body of the fish, the body of the insects, you know, the amphibians, the mammals, etc. They're all different flesh, all different bodies that generally have the same makeup, but are not necessarily the same, man. You know, because you have animals, there's certain animals' bodies that can do certain things, that produce certain chemicals that other bodies just can't. Look at a snake, for example. A snake can swallow its meal whole, and it doesn't have to chew its food. It just creates, its body creates acid or whatever, and it dissolves its food, man. It just swallows it whole. Same thing for animals like the Komodo dragon, bro. Komodo dragon doesn't chew its food. It just swallows its food whole, man. The Komodo dragon is probably my favorite animal, right? Man, an apex predator. They eat fucking buffalo and deer and all type of shit, man. And they just swallow it. As long as they can, they swallow it whole, man. But continuing in verse 40, it says, there are also celestial bodies, and bodies terrestrial, but the glory of the celestial is one, and the glory of the terrestrial is other. Exactly. So you have the celestial body, and then you have the terrestrial body. Currently, we're in these terrestrial bodies, which are really they're mortals. We're mortals. We live in mortal bodies, and mortals or mortality means subject unto death. And us being in these bodies, the reason why we are mortals or we have mortality is because ultimately we can sin and we can err and go off, which we all know that sin is transgression of the law. Sin is transgression of the law, and the wages of sin is death. So as long as we continue to sin, we're going to continue to die. But that's why the Most High say is going to, pursuant to Jeremiah 31, I believe, he's going to make us a new covenant, and he's going to give us a fleshly heart, man, which going into basically he's going to give us a living heart, a heart and a mind that and what really has to go into a celestial spiritual body. And in these bodies, we're going to have the mind and the heart to ultimately never ever sin again. So we're going to have a mind that is impervious to sin. Therefore, we're going to have a body as well that coincides with that heart. We're going to have a mind that cannot sin, cannot err, cannot do any wrong. And then we're going to have a body that is going to be a direct physical manifestation of that. You know, a beautiful, strong, healthy body that is indestructible, and impervious to damage, to danger, to harm, to illness. And right now we go through all type of sicknesses, man. You need to sleep. You know, you got to eat a healthy, clean diet, man. You get hungry, you get tired, you get sick. You know, you got to have an immune system, all these different things, all these different components that go into the body now that ultimately, and we age, you know, we age, and the older we get, the weaker our body gets, man. But that's not going to be the case anymore, because we're going to have the glory of the celestial body, which is ultimately life and power and limitless. Okay, we're going to have limitlessness. You know, we're going to be capable of doing anything that we can set our mind to. And our minds are going to be so parallel in thought that, you know, we're going to have endless amounts of creations and designs. And man, it's going to be beautiful, man. So it says, verse 41, it says, there is one glory of the sun, and another glory of the moon, and another glory of the stars. For one star differeth from another star in glory. Also is the resurrection of the dead. It is sown in corruption, and it is raised in incorruption. So we have been sown in corruption, but we're going to be raised in incorruption, man. We're going to be raised in an incorruptible, indestructible body, man. And this is just touching on just the general characteristic of the body, man. Just how it's going to be powerful. It's going to be indestructible, you know. But when you watch the video, man, you gotta understand the beauty of the body that we're going to have, man. It's going to be, you know, unfathomable, man. We can't even comprehend the beauty of our body. The most beautiful person that you've ever seen on this planet, man, is going to be a fucking 2. Bro, it's going to be incomparable, man, to the beauty, the level of beauty that the Israelite man and woman is going to be, bro, in the kingdom of heaven, bro. You know, bro, listen. We've never seen an angel in its truest form, in its truest beauty. We've never seen Yahweh Shai's spiritual body, but we're going to have a body likened to his body, man. And you better believe it's going to be a beautiful body, man. I really can't fathom it. Verse 43 says, it is sown in dishonor and is raised in glory. It is sown in weakness and raised in power. We're going to be raised in power, bro. You know, we're going to have spiritual power. We're going to be superhuman, man. You know, we're going to be able to have the ability to create, to manifest just with the thought, just to speak things into existence, man. We're going to be able to defy the natures of whatever you call gravity or physics. You know, we're going to be able to, you know, become intangible. We're going to be able to shape shift. We're going to be able to permeate, you know, become translucent. You know, we're going to be able to run super fast. We're going to be able to fly. We're going to be able to teleport. We're going to be able to speak telepathy. We're going to be able to read minds. Bro, sky is anything that you can think of. We're going to be able to do that and so much more. There's so much more things that we can't even think about that we're going to be able to do. Verse 44, it says, it is sown a natural body and is raised a spiritual body. There is a natural body and there is a spiritual body. And so it is written, the first man, Adam, was made a living soul, and the last Adam made a quickening spirit. Let me see. Now I'm going to jump down to 50. It says, matter of fact, no. Yeah. It says, now I say, brethren, that flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of God, neither doeth corruption inherit incorruption. So we're going to have to be changed, because we know that incorruption cannot inherit corruption, right? Or vice versa, right? You know, flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of heaven. So we're going to have to be translated and transformed into a new body that's not flowing with flesh and blood, you know? I don't even know, but you know, our bodies might not even have we might not even have organs, man. You know, we might just have a body, and then on the inside of our body is just energy, just our spirit, bro. Just that's the only thing on the inside of our body is just our spirit, bro. You know what I mean? We might not have organs or nothing, man. Because when you think about it, what's the point of having organs if you don't have no need of it? You know, if you're an incorruptible being, what's the need of having organs, man? Because even when you look at TV and movies, even the immortal beings like vampires and shit like that, even they're corruptible though. You know, they're still flesh and blood. Even though they may be so-called immortal, like they can live for I guess technically forever or thousands of years, they're still corruptible because they can be killed. One, they can be damaged, right? They might not necessarily die from bullets or stab wounds, but they still can bleed. You can still cut their head off, and they still can die ultimately, huh? It says, behold, I show you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall be changed. Right. So some of us ain't going to die, man. Some of us are just going to be translated into our new bodies when Yahweh Shai crack the skies and the angels and the chariots beam us up, man. As it showed in one of the clips in this video. It showed, I think it was towards the end. It was a small little clip where it showed the guy getting beamed up, man. Right here.
Together until now.
Look, you see the chariot come over. Chariot's gonna come, it's gonna beam us up. But instead, our spirits are gonna leave and our bodies are gonna be left, man. Because our bodies aren't gonna go into the chariots, man. Only our spirits in it. That's why it says it's gonna go into it. In the twinkling of an eye, right? It says, in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump, for the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. Exactly, in that twinkling of an eye, man, we're just going to be changed into our new bodies. So we're going to see the chariots, our spirit's going to get beamed up, and then the twinkling of an eye, we're going to be in the chair, we're going to look down, we're going to feel it, bro. We're going to feel it, man, we're going to feel it, bro. You're going to just feel the power in your body. You're going to feel the beauty and the might and the wisdom and knowledge, man. It's going to be amazing. It says, for this corruptible must put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality. So when this corruptible shall have put on incorruption, and this mortal shall have put on immortality, then shall be brought to pass that saying that death is swallowed up in victory. O death, where is thy sting? O grave, where is thy victory? The sting of death is sin, and the strength of sin is the law. That's why we're going to have the law, statute, commandments directly written into our minds and our bodies, that we're going to be impervious of going off. So really, the law itself is kind of going to be, and take my words loosely here, the law itself is technically going to be non-existent for us, if you will. And when I'm saying that is, I mean, it's like we're not going to sit here and we're not going to have to talk about the law to each other. We're not going to have to teach the law to each other. We're not going to have to teach our kids the law. It's going to be innate in their DNA and their makeup and their bodies and their mind, that they're going to know right from right, man. It's going to be impossible for us to do any wrong. It's going to be impossible for a thought of evil or sin to even cross our minds, bro. That's how it's just going to be bred in our DNA, bro. Now this is 2 Corinthians 2 and verse 18. No, I'm gonna start at 17. It says, "For our light affliction, which is but for a moment, worketh for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory." Right. So the sufferings and afflictions we're going through now is light work, bro. Romans 8 and 18 says, "The sufferings of this world are not to be compared with the glory that's going to be revealed in us." So what we're going through is light work, man. Compared to what we're going to receive in the kingdom, it's light work, bro. It's light work. It's light work. It's light work. And it work is, and everything we're going through it's just going to work so much more. It's going to be like, yo, I really only had to go through this to receive all this. You're going to look back like, yo, do I even really, you know what I mean? You're going to think it's going to be like, it's going to be incomparable. You're going to be like, damn, that's it. I only had to do that to get this, bro. It's a great deal, bro. You know what I mean? It says, "While we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen. For the things which are seen are temporal, but the things which are not seen are eternal," bro. We don't see our spiritual bodies. We don't see the heavens yet, man. But we look on those things and we meditate on those things in the spirit, because that's where we lay our treasures. And where your treasure is, where your heart is, man. So ultimately, that's why we place our treasure and our hope in that, because that's faith. You know, faith is the belief in things that you can't see. But if you can see it, and how can you hope for it, man? How can you have faith in something that you can physically see, that you can touch? They say seeing is believing, but bro, that's not true, man. That's not faithful. That's not faith. Seeing is not faith. Actually believing in something that you cannot see with the eye, that's faith. Ultimately, you know, and then going into obedience as well. Now this is 2 Corinthians. You know what? And this is a lot on this. It's a pretty good amount on this chapter, but I'm gonna just kind of read the point. Verse 2, 2 Corinthians 5 and 2. "For in this we groan, earnestly desiring to be clothed upon with our house which is from heaven." That's why we pray and we sigh and cry, because ultimately we want the kingdom. And ultimately, what's the core of the kingdom, right? What's the foundation? What's ultimately the blessing? The blessing is the spiritual celestial body, and everything else comes with that, man. The power, the glory, just having that body and being indestructible and immortal. Everything else follows, right? It says, "If so be that being clothed we shall not be found naked. For we that are in this tabernacle do groan, being burdened, not that we would be unclothed, but clothed upon, that mortality might be swallowed up in life." Exactly. Mortality swallowed up in life, man. We're going to put mortality to an end. We're going to put on immortality, which immortality is the opposite of mortality. If mortality means subject unto death, immortality is the opposite of that, which would simply mean subject unto life. So that being immortal means that everything of your existence and your makeup is subject unto life and living. So just there's no death that can be found within you. And you know, that's pretty much what I just wanted to get right there. So hey, Lord willing, this video was edifying. Till next time, shalom.